Fathery. I'm a native California. I got my undergraduate degree from Harvard University. I'm an attorney and I practice education law. I'm also a proud father of a severely vaccine-injured child. I'm here. I'd like to tell you a minute or two about my boy. He was our firstborn, perfectly healthy at birth, hitting all of his milestones. As first-time parents, we were very conscious about hitting all his pediatrician visits and staying on schedule. At 4 months, we took him in for his scheduled dose of vaccines. That evening, we took him home. He had a 104-degree fever. He screamed inconsolably for hours and vomited. He had never been sick before. Shortly thereafter, he started having seizures. We rushed him to the hospital where they started him on a drug called phenobarbital, which controlled the seizures. His development resumed, and at our next pediatrician visit, which is around 7 months old, my wife and I had prepared to confront our doctor and say, look, Clayton had this reaction last time. He's developed epilepsy. He's on medication. We'd like to wait till he's a little older before getting his next round of vaccines. Our pediatrician pushed back. She pressed us. She assured us there was no connection between his epilepsy and the seizures and the vaccines that he had received at 4 months. She went further and she said that because he was having health problems, he was at greater risk of being exposed, and that we could even, she suggested it'd be irresponsible for us not to stay on schedule with him. Against our instincts, we went ahead and had him vaccinated on schedule. Shortly after that, his seizures returned with a vengeance. He seized so much that he entered into a medical state, which is called status epilepticus. It's when the brain is in a state of continuous seizure. We rushed him to the hospital. That episode was the last time we heard our son's voice for 3 years. He collapsed after 45 minutes of seizing, and when he finally woke up, he had lost the ability to respond to sound. Like I said, he no longer used his voice. And over the next several months, we saw a dramatic mental regression in our son. It was after that my wife and I did research and learned about Congress in the late 1980s passing the National Childhood Injury Vaccine Program and Act, which has been referred to. We learned that vaccines are not safe for all kids, and that there's very little in terms of screening that can be done to determine which kids will have a reaction like Clayton's and which kids will have no reaction. Clayton's 13 years old today. My wife and I wanted him to be here for this. He seizes every day. Saturday night he had 37 grand mal seizures, so he's currently in Children's Hospital in LA, but he's here with me in spirit. She finally decided to have a daughter, so Clayton has a 9-year-old sister. She's perfectly healthy. She's never been vaccinated because we live in fear that we've got some genetic predisposition that could give her a similar reaction.